What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1,
and we're back at it to answer your questions in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. It's easier for us to filter through the questions if you label them as questions. As I trip over my tongue, which is not what Uriel30 did because he was typing, not speaking. But he asks, if the Horus Heresy didn't happen, how long, if or when, before the Emperor would have killed the Primarchs? Since the Great Crusade would be over, and we all know what he does with tools after he is finished with them. Example, the Thunder Warriors. How long before he kills the Primarchs? You know what, I really think that he would have done what the Primarchs did to their Space Marines that were from Terra and who are always going to be loyal to the Emperor. He would have put them on some type of like front line or some type of crusade that was definitely going to kill them, or just send them out and say, you know, go find the old ones out into the void. What do you think?
I actually don't think he would have killed him off. So let's say he did conquer all of humanity and unified them. I don't feel like with all the threats going on that the Imperial Guard or the Astra Militarum would be enough to combat all these baddies, all these Xenos and whatnot.
That is true, because during the Horus Heresy, there was no Tyranids.
Right.
Necrons weren't as abundant. So yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like, even though the Great Crusade would technically be over, like the Indomitus Crusade, there would still be a lot of threats out there, right, especially coming from the Eastern Fringe. Well, do you think the Tau would be around if the Great Crusade would have continued?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, they would be around. They probably wouldn't be as big as a threat, because they wouldn't have the forces of the Imperium, because they have like Guela, which are like humans that have joined the greater good. They wouldn't have those forces there. Humanity would be more powerful in general, so they probably wouldn't expand as much and progress technologically. So probably not.
That's interesting. So 40K would be completely different if the Horus Heresy would have never happened.
Right.
Good question. Next question.
This one is by Mandalore the Hunter. Hey fam, how many of these 18 first founding chapters have gene seed flaws, such as the Red Thirst and the Salamander's black skin? Pretty much all of them, right?
Yeah, it's easier to name the ones that don't have them. So let's start with the Ultramarines.
Ultramarines. The Imperial Fists.
Right, the Imperial Fists.
Got Alpha Legion, no?
Well, the Alpha Legion was small. Like they were not.
Oh, yeah, they're a little shorter.
Yeah, because they wanted to, or they blended in with their people. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, everybody else has like the Wolfen, Black Rage.
And then they had like minor
flaws.
Yeah, genetic flaws, like Corvus Corax. His guys, the Raven Guard, they were pale, super pale. Vulcan was black.
He had red eyes.
And his skin was scaly, wasn't it? Or no?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just like charcoal black.
Chagatai Khan, like they naturally spoke that one language. That's weird. Is that right?
Chagorian, I think.
Yeah, that. But like, that's weird because like some of the recruits don't come from that planet anymore.
Oh, that's true.
Yet they still speak the language. Kind of like us. We're Mexican, but we speak Spanish.
Do we?
Great.
There you go.
Next question comes from Renegade Pizza Guy. Ooh. When Lucius the Eternal takes over someone, does he burst out of his chest like alien style?
Kind of. I mean, if that chest has armor on it, because that's what happens. So once you kill him, your armor or whatever armor plating you have on morphs into Lucius essentially, and then that armor like overtakes you. So try killing him nakedly.
So it's kind of like Alien, but nothing like Alien. Next question.
Lucas Bird. Who has the most advanced technology, the Tau or the Adeptus Mechanicus?
The Tau or the Adeptus Mechanicus?
So the AdMech, they're using technology that's like 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
They don't really progress, right?
No. It's difficult to say because, like, yeah, technically the Imperium has more advanced technology because of STCs, but they don't really know how to use them. They just know, if I press this button, this happens. Well, why? We don't know. We just pray, and, and it happens. Whereas the Tau, they say, we press this button because blah, 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 and they actually know the technology. So, I guess you could say the Imperium, but I guess you could say the Tau because they have a better understanding of it.
Right. Also, I know Tau stealth suits, that technology was actually stolen from the Imperium, and they're using like stealth technology because of the Tau stealth suits. And it actually got so crazy that it's the older stealth suit for the Tau, which looks like a fire warrior with a burst cannon. That was the technology that was stolen. So in order for Tau to kind of keep up with their technology not being stolen, they made the new stealth suits, which are the ones with like the round carapace thing. So that kind of explains a little bit of the lore stuff.
There you go. Next question comes from Chicago. What do you think the likelihood of the demon Primarchs uniting to overthrow the Chaos Gods to take their place would be?
I don't think the unification of all the demon Primarchs would be strong enough to kill a Chaos God.
No, and I don't think they would even do it because they kind of hate each other. Chaos is chaotic, so any type of organizational structure would fall apart. Look at the, what is it, the 13th Black Crusade. It had Mortarion, and it had...
Was Magnus in there too?
Yeah, Magnus might have been in there, I can't remember. But either way, like, they were fighting for their own end, and it would, like, they didn't really care. They were just there because it was going to be, what is it called? Alliance of Convenience.
Yeah. So Abaddon was like, hey, you want this thing destroyed, right? So do we, so let's fight together.
Exactly. Next question.
Kevin Gomez. So I always wondered, what will happen if the old ones actually do come back to 40K right now? Do you think they will go to war? Do you think they will do what the Reapers did in Mass Effect, or just stay out of it?
So if they came back, they would come back with a purpose. And you are coming into a universe, or you're coming into a galaxy that knows only war. So they would have to pick a fight, but they would pick a fight, I think, with the Necrons, right?
I would assume so, because the Necrons are the oldest race. Maybe they can, like, I don't know, take control of them, because they are kind of mindless. At least the grunts are.
Yeah, but yeah, they would come back, or they would come in punching.
He's got a part 2 to his question.
Yeah.
Also, what would happen if the old ones decided to end chaos and the warp altogether?
It would make sense because the old ones don't really need the web gates anymore, right?
Right.
But at the same time, well, what's the purpose of coming back, destroying it,
and then leaving?
And then leaving, yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's like, oh, I guess all this chaos, all this war is happening because of the warp. You know, there was the birth of Chaos Gods. Let's destroy that, make it to how it was, you know, way back in the day. But I don't see a point of that.
Right. Next question comes from DeFool06. Hey Gersh, what would be your best sound Alchemist impression? Alright, give me a second. Can I borrow your glasses?
They're dirty AF.
That was it. Oh damn, dude, I can't see anything. Everything's all blurry. That's my impression. Now he has a part 2. Sound Alchemist, what would be your best Gersh impression?
What's up, guys?
Good one. Next question.
Guisela. If the Imperium of Man took over the Milky Way galaxy and killed off all the other contenders, what would they do next? So if the Imperium won essentially against everything else, what's the next step?
Infighting?
Yeah.
Because that's what happens now. Imperial governors would want to take over. Secession would happen. Yeah, it would be bad.
So essentially what it is now, just without the aliens.
Right, exactly. It'd be a different game. Next question comes from, holy moly, Merrick Grutska. You asked this a lot, I'm guessing, because I see you post a lot. But anyway, you say, hello OMS, thanks for answer, and as always, keep up the great work. Oh, awesome. We've answered your question before. What do you think of such conversions for the Terminators, that they're gonna be outfitted with dual power fists to punch some ugly faces, but there would be also an inbuilt Stormbolter on them for range protection? Would it make them something like the Aggressors, or minus the launcher? Of course, that would be made for Tartarus Termies because they're awesome.
So yeah, that's essentially what it is. I don't see GW changing up the war gear like that, because you're making them Aggressors and there's already a model for that.
Even though the Adeptus Custodes are essentially Grey Knights.
Yeah.
And GW's like, you know what, here's the same shit, just painted gold. Well, no, because the Adeptus Custodes are a little stronger, or a lot stronger.
Well, they are. They are hand-picked by the Emperor, hand-created by the Emperor. So the Emperor literally made each one of these 10,000 warriors his own thing. So think of them as Space Marines. The Adeptus Custodes are Space Marines, and the Emperor is like their Primarch. That's kind of the relationship they have.
Like the Grey Knights.
Basically. But the Grey Knights weren't like crafted by the Emperor. They just use this gene seed.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it'd be like recruits for the Adeptus Custodes.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't know.
Here's a part 2. Some time ago, you've answered my question about phase planets, yet I was asking about non-chaos phase in and out phenomenon. Like Necrons would left some sort of device that would transfer the planet not into the warp, but yet another dimension. It said that some of their tech can banish the opponent into other dimensions, yet it's not stated as the warp. Could there be such a device left partially intact, or something by a dynasty that occupied some planet or something? Yeah, definitely. That sounds like something that would come out of a Dark Heresy type of novel or like game or whatever, a game mechanic. So essentially you're saying instead of transporting the entire planet into the warp, it transports the planet into
like a pocket dimension or something.
Yeah, like
that.
some Rick and Morty shit.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really difficult though to like, or not difficult. I just wouldn't like that because like you have the warp and you have real space. Leave it at that. Don't make it complicated and bring other dimensions because.
But you also got the webway too, and that's a little different.
Yeah, slightly different, but it's still in the warp. So the webway is in the warp. So you could say that the pocket dimension is inside the warp. So you're being transported not into the warp, but into a pocket inside the warp. Then that's fine. I'll be cool with that.
But the Necrons don't use warp technology, so that would kind of throw that out there.
Right.
So it's a different dimension.
Yeah.
But no, they do have abilities to do that. I believe like some of the Catan have like powers of the Catan that literally like rip you out of this dimension and fling you elsewhere. So yeah, it's possible. Oh, Transdimensional Thunderbolt.
That's what it is?
That's one attack, yeah. I'm sure there's more, but that's the only one I could think of.
I think it's best not to talk about that because it messes with the lore and the structure of 40K starts to crumble when you bring in other dimensions.
Like other galaxies too.
Exactly. This ain't no Rick and Morty. Next question.
Sismon Kalawowskiks. I can't pronounce your name. And I've got gas in my belly. When a Krook kindred eat the meat of Psykers, do they evolve into Psykers? Yes, they do actually. We did a 40 facts video on the shaping ability of the Krook, so go watch that. And yeah, if they eat enough meat of a certain particular species, they will gain those traits.
What kind of meat?
Oh shit. That dick meat.
Last question comes from Nin Thundertoe. Do you know the way?
Oh, that's the meme I was telling you.
I don't know.
With the Ugandan knuckles.
I really need to.
They start clicking if they get mad and they spit at you.
Knuckles do that?
Ugandan knuckles.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So what would you respond to that? Yes. I don't know.
I don't know the way.
Can
you show us the way?
Is that your impersonation of a Ugandan?
That was horrible. Yeah.
Those are the questions for this week. Thank you so much for sending them our way. Comment down below if your question did not get
Sending
answered.
us our way? So we do know the way.
Oh, okay, there you go.
This guy uses whey product.
I do. Well, no, I don't anymore. It's
Not
just
anymore.
it's extra calories. And nobody needs that.
Yeah, thanks again, guys, for sending us all these awesome questions. We answer these, 3-4 times a week.
Yes.
If we didn't answer your question, check back the previous day, the next day, someday, and we'll get to your question, hopefully.
So,
Yeah.
this is Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist. Out of here.